Okay, today we are going to be doing what is called synthetic division. Synthetic division. And what synthetic division does simplifies long division for dividing by x minus a. To use synthetic division, write the coefficients including zeros of the polynomial in standard form. Omit all variables and exponents for the divisor reverse the sign. Which allows you to add instead of subtract. So here's what we're going to do. Come on, baby. We're going to divide x to the third minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54 by x plus 2. How about that? Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to reverse the sign of positive 2. And then we're going to write the coefficients. This is our step number 1. So we're going to take this positive 2 right here, the divisor, and we're going to put negative 2. And then we're going to put this little half a box here. And then we're going to write the coefficients of the polynomial. The coefficients are the number in front of each term. Okay? So in front of this x to the third, there is a 1. And then in front of the x squared, we got a negative 14. We got a positive 51 and a negative 54. Everybody see where all those numbers came from? The 1 comes from right here. The negative 14 here. The 51 right here. And the negative 54 is right here. Now pay attention. You see that these exponents are in descending order. That's the first thing you need to check. You've got an exponent of 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right? Now, if this polynomial out here was started off with x to the third, but then it went to just an x, you would need to fill in a 0 for your x squared. You've got to hold a place. Is that funny?
Sorry.
You watching a movie?
No, I heard.
Oh, okay. You got to have descending order on your exponents. Can't skip any. All right? So now the next step is bring down the first coefficient. All right, so this was step 1. Step 2, bring down first coefficient. Here's what that means. We draw a line right here. We take this leading coefficient, this 1, and we put it right here. Step 3. Step 3 is to multiply the coefficient by the divisor. Add to next coefficient. What that means is you take this 1, you multiply it by negative 2, or you take the negative 2, you multiply it by 1, and it goes here. So negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And then you continue. All right, so watch. The first couple of steps were just writing, setting up the problem. Then we brought down this coefficient. Then we multiplied the divisor by that coefficient and we wrote it underneath the next column. All right. So we're going to multiply coefficient by divisor, add to next coefficient. So you take negative 14 and you add it to negative 2. And you get negative 16. Then you repeat or continue. Somebody's singing? Selena, are you singing? Is somebody singing or am I hearing things? Now we take the negative 2 times the negative 16, which gives us 32. And we take the 51, we add it to the 32. We get 83. We take negative 2 times 83. That's negative 166. We add it to the negative 54. And we get negative 220. You with me? So now our quotient is, this is our quotient. But we got to write it in polynomial form. So our quotient is, look, if you've got 4 terms down here, this one, the 1 goes with your x squared. The negative 16 goes with your x. The 83 is a constant. Your remainder in this case is negative 220. So when you divide x to the third minus 14x squared plus 51x minus 54 by x plus 2, those are your steps using synthetic division. Your quotient is x squared minus 16x plus 83. Your remainder is 220, negative 220. Now, once you start practicing these, after about 2 of them, you're going to get real fast. All right? Because it's bring down, it's multiply, add, bring down. Multiply, add, bring down. Multiply, add, bring down. You're done. All right, so let's do another one. Let's slide that up there. This time we're going to divide. We got x to the third. All right, x to the third minus 57x plus 56 by x minus 7. Now, this is a good example of when you got to use zeros. If you look at this polynomial, x to the third minus 57x plus 56, you see how you're missing a power of 2? You're missing an x squared in there. So when you set this problem up, we take the opposite of negative 7 and we put a 7 right here. And then our coefficients, we have a 1. Now, since there's not an x squared, you have to fill in a 0. Then a negative 57. And then a positive 56. And then you skip a little bit of room and you draw a line. Your leading coefficient comes down. And now you take 7 times 1 and you put it here, 7. And then you add 0 to 7 and you get 7. And then you take 7 times 7 and 49 goes here. And then negative 57 plus 49, that's a negative 8. And then you multiply 7 times negative 8 and you get negative 56. And 56 plus negative 56 is 0. So now look at your quotient. Your quotient is, since you have 3 coefficients left, you got a constant, you've got an x to the first, and you got an x squared. We've got x squared plus 7x minus 8. Remainder is 0. Now, if you were asked the question, is x minus 7 a factor of x to the third minus 57x plus 56? Since there's a 0 remainder, answer is yes. Okay? Yes, it is. Understand? See the process? Good. Let's do one more. We're going to divide x to the third plus 4x squared plus x minus 6 by x minus 3. So what goes up in the little box now? Right here. This little half a box. What goes in there? What's that? Positive 3. Good. And now, since my powers, my exponents, are all present and descending, I got a 3, 2, 1, 0. What's my first coefficient right here? 1. What's the next one? Then negative 6. Good. Draw a line. Bring down the 1. That's your setup. There's no math required whatsoever in that part of it. The rest is multiplying and adding. You take 3 times 1 is 3, and it goes here. And then you add 4 plus 3, and you get 7. And then 3 times 7 is 21. It goes here. And you add 1 and 21, and you get 22. And then 3 times 22 is 66. And negative 6 plus 66 is 60. So your quotient, what's the quotient? What's the quotient? What's the quotient? That a boy. All right, look, just plus 22, right? Is there a remainder? Remainder 60, good. Good. All right, there's your quotient. So is x minus 3 a factor of x to the third plus 4x squared plus x minus 6? It's not a factor, is it? Why? How come it's not a factor, Jalen? Because there's a remainder. Thank you. Thank you. All right, any questions on synthetic division? Your assignment for today is going to be on that handout again. Page 308. '21 through 28. And when I give you this, I mean, most of you figured it out, but you got to show your work. If you just turn in, if you write the problem down, you write the answer down, you don't get any credit, okay? So you got to show your work. Some of you probably need to put your phones away for a couple of minutes and actually do your work. All right, it's not that much. It's 8 problems, but I know you're addicted to your phones and you can't put them away for very long. You get the shakes or something. Being out of sight of your phone for more than 14 or 15 seconds continuously. All right, those are going in the basket upon departure. Make sure you put your name on your paper. If you're a Zoomer, you're going to take a picture of your work and email it to me. If you don't have any questions, I don't have any more